What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to talk about trading in general and give you guys some advice on what to do if you enter a losing streak. I'm also going to talk about some other things involving trading psychology that could be very, very helpful for the future. I'm also going to break down some things about Tesla stock, which are going to be important, not to mention SPY. But let me first say that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, guys, when it comes to the market, I just want to talk about something very important. On my channel, I oftentimes talk about the charts and break down how things are looking and also the news, but I also want to focus on trading as a whole. So I think that perhaps like once a week, every Saturday, I should just make a video about trading, give you guys some advice on something very important. And I just want to talk about something. So, I have a friend who's a good trader, but they've been going through a losing streak, and it happens, right? It can happen to some of the best traders as well. But the question is, what do you do when you're in a position like that? What happens if you suddenly just have three, four, five losing days in a row? What would I do if I were in those shoes? Now, there's a very, very big individualistic aspect to this. Some people have different things that cause them to start losing money, but I want to give you guys some general information and also break down specific instances about why this is very important to go over and what you could end up doing. So, here's one thing you have to remember about the stock market. Let me show you something. The market is very, very inconsistent, at least a lot of the time, when it comes to like intraday trades. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at Tesla, it had different phases where it was dropping and dropping and dropping. And it had other phases where it would just gap down, pump, gap down, pump, gap down, and pump. And then it had other phases where it was just pumping and it was on a nice uptrend. And then other phases where it's been on a big downtrend, and that's what's been happening right now. So you guys could see the trends on Tesla, excuse me, they change very, very fast. It's always adjusting. It's always doing something different. Look at SPY. SPY is the epitome of something that's just absolutely insane. Overall, there is an uptrend on it, but when you're trading this intraday, it's not really that simple. So just check this out, right? We had one green day. This was just a couple of weeks ago. We gap up, get another green day. We pump and dump. We dump here, we trade sideways, pump a little bit, gap up and trade sideways. We pump, trade sideways, dump, trade sideways, pump again, pump and dump. We trade sideways here. We pump again, pump and dump, pump and dump. Then we gap down and kind of like trade sideways. So the point I'm trying to make is that the market is just all over the place. Right? We don't just see green day, green day, green day, up, over and over and over again. There have been some instances where that happened, but we're not really in an instant like that. So I just want to make it very, very clear that when things like this happen, okay, don't always just blame yourself because the market is very difficult to trade in. Sometimes it can be very hard, and you want to be very adaptive, even when you're trading Tesla. But what does it mean to be adaptive? That means you're prepared for different situations, even when things don't go according to plan. And that's the reason why when I upload my videos, there could be a day where I'm a little bit off, I'm wrong about something, but then I'll fix my mistake intraday because I'm always willing to change my opinion. And you have to be willing to admit that you could be wrong when trading. If you can't admit that, then it's going to be very hard to really adjust to new changes. And I want to kind of break this down in more details. So, one thing that causes people to lose a lot of money, and this may be very important for you, is when you're day trading, you may have a lot of instances where you just lose money again and again and again and again, and you just end up blowing your portfolio. So that's common. Don't blame yourself entirely because the market is very difficult to trade in, but there are things you could do to improve in a situation like this. Now, like I said before, it's different for everyone. Some people could go through different things, but you have to first identify, and this is what I would personally do, identify what caused you to start losing money. Could it be because you experienced something very hard psychologically that triggered it? Could it be because you won a lot of money, you made a lot of money, you're just trying to chase the same wins? So, for example, let's just say you have a portfolio. Your portfolio is not the biggest, and you only make an average of like $200 per win, per day when you're actually green, something like that, right? And that's like what you make during your green days usually. And all of a sudden, you have one day where you make $10,000, and then you know you're not used to making that much money, and you want to just keep making it every single day. So you start chasing for it, and you end up losing money. And let's just say you lose $500. Okay, you're down 500. What do you want to do? I'm going to trade with another 5,000 because I want to make back 10,000. So then you start doubling your positions and you end up losing again and again. And then it just really hurts you psychologically and you start blowing the entire portfolio. So the first thing that I would do is take a step back. Why am I starting to lose money? Could it be because I went through a breakup? Could it be because I went through a car accident? Could it be because I lost confidence in myself? What is causing it to happen? Once you identify that, maybe it's something that happened in your personal life. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that the market is changing. That could be another big factor because the market is very inconsistent. I think that that was what like really hurts retail. They don't have the exact information that Wall Street has, so it makes things difficult. But what could help you is being able to admit that we can't always predict the market, exactly what it's going to do every single day, but we can get a better idea by understanding data. So first, always pay attention to data, what economic data is coming out for the day. That's why I always stress out the importance of looking at data. And secondly, you want to be able to manage risks and adjust. If you lose 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row, start scaling down. Don't scale up. If you're using like $200 per trade, making 5 trades a day, or maybe more than that, who knows? But if you're only using that much money, and you're still losing money every day, then you should scale down and use less money. Be very very limited, more picky with your trades, and just go back and study what you ended up doing wrong. There may be instances where it's much easier to make money, other instances where it's much harder. An example of this would be like SPY. It was a lot easier to make money on Thursday compared to Friday. So Thursday was the PPI data day. We had a big sell off, right? So if you go back to Thursday, like this was easier to trade in the daytime. We had this big sell off, then we just continued to fall compared to like what we saw on Friday when SPY kind of like pumped, dumped a bit, but it was a very slow decline. And then for the second half of the day, it was just straight up sideways price action, making it very difficult to trade in, back and forth price action. This happened because of the options chain. The market makers just try to hurt as many option holders as possible. So when you know this context, you'll know that you have to be very adaptive, and sometimes things don't always go as planned. So when I make a video and I say that Tesla has a strong possibility of trying to bounce based off technicals, it could be right. Maybe Tesla will try to get that bounce, or maybe it won't get the bounce. Maybe some more bad news will come out. I do favor that Tesla could try to push higher, but I just want to say that it also depends on the news. So always be open minded to that possibility that something could go wrong and that your trade may not always work out. When you have this mindset, you know that things may not always work out, you're going to manage risks a lot better and you'll start adjusting your charts. Adjust. Let me give you an example of me adjusting. I always like to adjust my charts because look at how the chart ends up moving. Like SPY right here was not downtrending. It came down, it bounced. This is not a downtrend, truly. It broke its all time high, okay, then it started coming down again. So during this instance, I wasn't drawing out a channel saying SPY is like so bearish, it's going to crash. No, I wasn't saying that. Now I made a big adjustment just looking at the price action because we ended up forming a very, very nice channel and we're starting to downtrend. So I made a big adjustment. Now I have a different strategy here, right? I also made an adjustment right here. Remember how I was recording a video? I was saying we had this channel on SPY. You have to be able to identify this. Well, if we were bullish, we had to break this high right here, 515.6. If we're bearish, you want to see it lose 513.5. And we got the bearish break. Once we got the bearish break, we came down to 512 and we started to see this thing sink and maintain the downtrend. So I'm trying to say that I adjust a lot when I make my videos. I don't always solely trade based off channels, but always try to identify them. uh, Always be open minded to adjusting based off different price action, based off the unexpected. And once you expect both bullish and bearish things to pan out, and once you really break down your levels, you could become a much better trader. So in this instance, I have the levels broken down, right? We lost 512. We came all the way down to the 510 area, rebounded towards 511.7, exactly at this resistance. Then we came down to this support right here at 508.5. We had this drawn out. Then we came back up to 510 and traded sideways. So you can see how the levels worked out. So when you have your levels drawn out, you identify the trend. It's going to become a lot more applicable to be able to trade that way. All right. So as a reminder, when you're day trading, you want to understand yourself. How do you understand yourself? Maybe you play basketball to learn about yourself. Maybe you go on a trip to Hawaii. Maybe you have to walk by a beach. Whatever it is, understand yourself. Why am I starting to lose money? Is it because I went through something hard? Was it because of the breakup I went through the other day? Was it because of, who knows what? Maybe I went through something very difficult in my, in my personal life. Maybe it has to do with the market changing. Whatever it is, identify it. When you start losing scale down, and then adjust. You have to be very adaptive in a crazy market like this. One day, SPY could be tanking, the next day could be pumping. Have your levels drawn out. Once you see a breakout, identify it. And that's why you have to be very adaptive. So, that being said, I just want to say that I think that a lot of people that watch these videos are great people. I really appreciate everyone out there. And I think that you guys have so much potential. But always remember that just because you're a great person, it doesn't automatically mean you'll translate into a successful person. Because being successful has more to do with, I would say, discipline and being able to understand what you could do to improve than simply just trying to just be as good as possible, at least to others, right? And that's a very important lesson that I learned. Being too nice is not always a great thing. Sometimes you have to prioritize yourself. Sometimes there could come days where you have to just maybe not spend as much time with the wrong people. Surround yourself with good people and always take care of your own self. You want to prioritize yourself sometimes. Sometimes it's okay to be selfish. Not always, guys, but sometimes. Sometimes you have to say to your friends, "Hey, I love you guys, but today I can't go to the bar. I have to do something else. Today I can't go out drinking. I have to prioritize my own health. Today I can't do this. I have to focus on going to the gym. I have to focus on my disciplinary practices." It sounds very futile. It sounds hard, and it's what a lot of people don't want, but that is the cost of success. Being disciplined, being able to put your mind to it, working hard, and being able to adjust. I'm not saying you should never drink. I'm not saying you should never have fun. Of course, you could do those things, but you have to know when. You got to step back a bit, discipline yourself, put in work, because that's what's going to help you to really change. That's what's going to help you to become a champion. So look at a lot of athletes. There are probably great athletes out there who are incredible, absolutely incredible, but they could go through long periods, like weeks, where they don't perform as well, right? I'm sure you've seen this. Why is this happening? Could it be that they're going through something in their lives? Could it be because the defense that's trying to stop them is adjusting and they have to make big adjustments, right? Sometimes that is what could happen. Games could change, different tactics could be used. So you always remember in life that we always want to grow and we always want to improve and we always need to change. Don't try to be the same person every day. Try to improve every single day. So identify ways you can improve in your daily life. Identify what's holding you back in your trading psychologically. And once you get all of that fixed, you also have to know that when day trading, every single trade you make could fail. So always be prepared for that. And that's why you manage risks. That's why you have stop losses set just to be safe. And then when trading in general, you have to remember to be adaptive. Always adjust. When you're going through a losing streak, always remember this. Why am I in this losing streak? What caused this to happen? Let me just use less money. When I trade, don't let your emotions get the best of you, and then try to identify how you could improve your trading strategies. All right. One week, the market could be bearish. Next week, it could be bullish. Just because we run one day does not mean we have to fall the next day or vice versa. You can make money buying the dip in a bear market. You can make money selling in a bull market because the market has lots of intraday fluctuations you can make money off of. Let me just show you. Look at SPY, right? If you're scalping, right, whether this thing's on an uptrend or a downtrend, you could have gone long right here. Once we got a bounce off 508.5, you could have gone long here and made money to the upside, even though this thing was downtrending. You could have made money on the downside, even though this thing was about to bounce. You could have made money, going back up, even though this thing could fall in the future. So you have to discipline yourself and you have to identify these changes. Do not forget that. Trading is difficult, but be adaptive, be strong, be brave, and I really believe in everyone that watches these videos. You can succeed, but never give up. Discipline yourself, work hard, and always, always, always be open to understanding your own self. That is the key to success in this game. All right, so have a great day, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Do what you have to do. I hope that you guys found a lot of value in this video. I hope that you understand the next time if you ever end up in a losing streak, you take some of these pieces of advice into account and you really try to learn about yourself because trading is going to teach you more about yourself than anything else. And always remember that moving forward. All right. So have a great day, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you and peace out.